Welcome back to Hot Jam. This is Captain Bill Thomas. Let's meet our special stars for today's show. For vocals and on the drums with Hot Jam is Al Lund. Welcome to the show, Al.
Glad to meet you, Bill.
How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Good. We're looking forward to talking with you today and hearing your music. Bass guitar and tremendous vocals, Dave Hofer. Welcome, Dave.
Hey, thank you.
How are you doing?
Tremendous.
Good. And we have the lead guitarist and also vocals, Roger Mathias. How could I forget that? He was holding up his Mickey Mouse card. Roger, let's talk a little bit about the history of Hot Jam, okay?
Right.
When did the first formation of the group happen?
The group was formed in 1971, and we have the same musicians we started with, and we're all from the Midwest, and we're based right now in Marshalltown, Iowa.
Roger, the history of Hot Jam spans 6 years. You've had how many single records in those 6 years?
We've had 2 single records in that time.
And what were their names?
They were Tobacco Road and I Love to Boogie.
Tobacco Road was a rock and roll song from the 60s, right?
Right.
And that gentleman sitting right there did I Love to Boogie, or at least a great deal of the vocals. Dave, tell us about how I Love to Boogie came into production for Hot Jam.
Well, I Love to Boogie was a song that we came up with when we were playing up in northern Iowa, and it was in a ballroom where everybody was having a good time, and with the name Hot Jam, it means just that when people are going and things are rolling, we do a lot of jamming, and with this jamming, one night people were really having a terrific time. We had some hot licks going for us, and I took the mic and started singing I Love to Boogie, and the people started chanting I Love to Boogie, and from that we took the music that we were playing at that time and the chant I Love to Boogie and built a song.
Do you have some audience reaction in the record itself? Can we hear that when I Love to Boogie?
Yes,
really?
The record is constructed so that it is like you are walking into a ballroom and you can hear it in the distance, and you come in and you hear the noise of the people, and suddenly the music starts.
Tremendous, yeah.
And then it kind of engulfs you and makes you feel good.
Roger Mathias, do you remember my name? Captain Bill Thomas. He's going to get me for that after the show. Al Lund, talk a little bit about Hot Jam's concert tour in the past with some of the groups you performed with.
Well, along with the records and the promotions that you do, you have to gain some experience to go along with actually playing a record. And the experience you gain, the major place you can get that is doing work with groups that have already been there before, and they've got some experience. So we've done quite a little concert backup experience, and really most of that came since we released the first single, which was in 1975. And we've played a good number of concert backups to date. And the first was with Chicago at 1975 Iowa State Fair, and then last State Fair, Iowa State Fair, in 76 we backed up Trooper, Hart, and BTO. And the most recent tour dates we did was we did some Midwest touring with Starbuck, and we did some selected dates throughout the Midwest, and that was last October.
That is really fantastic. A lot of good experience, isn't it?
It's fantastic. It doesn't make any difference really who you're touring with. If they're of national caliber, you can gain a lot of experience just by working with the groups and understanding and seeing what they do in front of an audience. You can always pick up something that will be of benefit to you.
Roger Mathias, lead guitarist, I got your name right. Let's find out how long it took you to develop that great style that you have.
Well, I've been playing guitar for about close to 12 years now, and I don't really fashion myself after any particular guitarist. I just kind of feel my own way I play, is the way I feel, right?
Dynamite. Somebody told me that you sound like Paul McCartney on that bass. Is that right?
Well, I tell you,
Oh, come on now. Don't be humble.
No. The bass, when the Beatles first came out, you know, he had a flow to his bass. You know, suddenly the bass guitar was more than just something in the background someplace. It was an instrument to be played and to be heard, and he did a fantastic job.
You guys as Hot Jam, I know obviously you worked real hard back in 1971 when you first kicked off this great sound of high-energy rock and roll. Do you still practice as much today as you did then?
Yeah, we're still in it.
Two heads go like this now.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Yeah. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of timing, and a lot of work to go out and perform a job nowadays, because people expect a lot more than just music. They expect to see a production, a show. They want to be fully entertained. So it requires a well-planned and well-executed show. And we do a lot more than just the music. We don't just go out there and pick away.
Sure.
You have to go out there and show people that you are professional. It all comes back to if you do release a record or a single or whatever happens, you know, and people hear your material being played on a radio, you're in the same category as anyone else.
Sure
you know.
you are.
They place you in that category.
Well, I'm getting excited talking to you guys about Hot Jam and what you've done. So why don't all of us now take a good look at some film footage that was taken here in Ames on Hot Jam. Hot Jam at the Hilton Coliseum in Ames, March 11th for the muscular dystrophy. Some fantastic film footage. You guys really are good. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We don't.
In case you didn't get
Tell
an
us some more.
opportunity to meet our featured guests on the show, Hot Jam, Al Lund, drums, vocals.
Good to see you again.
We have Dave Hofer, bass guitar and vocals, and Roger Mathias,
Right.
lead guitar and vocals.
Same one as last time.
The same guy as the last time. Roger, let's talk a little bit about the future recording plans for Hot Jam. I know everybody watching and listening will be wondering whether an album's coming out soon.
Yeah, we're tentatively working on an album right now. We hope to release it at the end of the summer.
Fantastic. Do you have a single, too?
Well, basically, we're just working on the album right now.
That must take a lot of work.
Right. If when we record the album, we want we'll pick something out of the album probably for a single.
Great. Well, I know it'll go very, very well for you. Dave, let's talk a little bit about whether you prefer performing on stage or recording in the studio. You know, a lot of groups have preference to that.
Yes, recording in a studio is really something. You're around professional people, and it's a feeling all its own. But I prefer having the people there because there are what makes things go for you. So they can excite you, and I prefer performing live. It's just great.
Well, you guys obviously put on a tremendous show, build up a lot of high energy in your music, excitement, and special effects. Now, what kind of a production goes into a Hot Jam show? How many people do you have to help you set up the equipment, time-wise?
Well, with the production, like people walk into a ballroom or an auditorium and hear the music running through the PA system, and the stage is dim, and they don't realize what it takes. You know, we have light personnel, sound personnel, for effects, people running the effects. It takes a number of people to get the show going. Sure, we can play the music and stay on top of the music, but it takes the people behind the scenes to get it rolling.
You bet it does. Let's talk a little bit with Al Lund about the special effects you have. Can you give us a sneak preview of what our audience can see and hear when they're at your show?
Well, I don't have any flash with me tonight.
I have some right here.
But we highlight our whole show. And when Dave talks about setting up for the concert, our band is really driving and striving towards the concert atmosphere, where we do an hour-and-a-half concert style of show. And in this hour-and-a-half show that we currently work and do, it's 14 songs, and everything is highlighted by effects. And we do a fog show, we do a flash show, we do concert lighting show, which includes the follow spot and the concert lights on stage.
Listen, you've got me all excited. When can I see you next? What are some of the concerts you have upcoming that you'll be backing up major groups or doing some things of your own?
We have a good number of things planned for this summer to precede our album release in August. And we're trying to do a little promotion and some hype for the band. The first thing we have scheduled is the first part of the summer we're going to do Midwest tour dates with a group from Amarillo, Texas called Baby. And they'll be throughout the Midwest. They're here approximately, almost every year they show up. And we're going to do backup work with them on 6 or 7 dates.
I bet you have a lot of fair dates planned.
We have a tremendous number of fair dates planned this year. We'll be again at the Iowa State Fair to highlight some concert series down there. And we'll be doing a 3-day concert stint in the middle of July this coming summer.
Let's review one more time. You all live in Marshalltown. Been together for 6 years. 2 singles so far for Hot Jam. An album in the making, probably another single. Wow, that is a great task that you've accomplished. You should be proud of it. Recognition. Very quickly, before we hear I Love to Boogie, what about some recognition you've received?
Well, the recognition makes everything worthwhile, and the first major recognition that we did receive was KLEU 85 radio station gave us their Music Story Award for Top Talent in Iowa Band.
And?
We had the Iowa State Fair Review in the Des Moines Register for our participation last year before the BTO Trooper Heart concert. And finally is a chance to work here on WI TV.
And you're so handsome. I mean, you know, you three guys are tremendous.
Well, look, the host.
Well,
What can I
Roger
say?
Matthias, lead guitarist and vocals. And we've been talking with Dave Hofer, bass guitar and vocals, and Al Lund, tremendous dynamite drummer and vocals.
yes,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Do you guys argue who's going to sing?
No,
Of course not.
the biggest one always gets it.
Ah. Well, you obviously have a fan club, right?
You know, that's very true. We honestly do.
Right
I
to
get
Hot
that-
Jam,
it's-
Marshalltown? Got an address we can have?
Yeah, we can. It's
Okay.
312 Sharon Avenue, Marshalltown, Iowa. And that's zip code 50158.
312 Sharon Avenue. And that's for the Hot Jam Fan Club. Can I be
Right.
your president?
Sure
Yeah,
can.
you sure can.
You wear a skirt?
Only, listen, I'll be your president only if you will teach me how to play the drums, the bass guitar, and the lead guitar.
All at
That'll
once?
take a while. pal.
All at once.
All at once.
All at once.
Consider it done.
It is. It's done. We're going to go rehearse right now.
All right. That's a deal.
Now, the film footage that the audience and all of us saw earlier at the Hilton Coliseum in Ames for muscular dystrophy, that must have been an exciting time because there had to be 2,000 or 3,000 people dancing for a marathon. And that's what you guys are good at, having a good time. Do you enjoy performing in front of an audience, Roger?
Oh, you betcha. Really, for me, you can really pour yourself out onto an audience. I myself can do 1,000% better in front of an audience, you know, as to maybe 200-300 people, because the people are moving, you're moving too.
I know this cat likes a live audience. Dave,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen you work out before when we've done some things together.
Oh, yeah, it's just so fantastic. You know, you look down and see somebody really going at it, and it's just,
Woo! Right.
yeah, go to it.
And this guy, listen, how many drums do you have? How many drums do you have to play?
13.
13? You didn't start with 13 drums. What if I was learning how to drum? Do I go out and get 13 drums?
No, you go out and get 4 arms.
Four arms.
No, it's a building process, just like the whole band built in 6 years. We were all playing much earlier than that, but it took 6 years to put this band together, to construct this band, and it's the same way when you go out and
Sure.
and play. It takes so much construction time.
Guys, this has really been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for letting Captain talk to you. And we want to thank you again for watching Hot Jam. And we're going to watch them more now, as you'll be able to hear, now that you've seen their personalities, this fantastic high-energy group, Superstars Hot Jam. And we're going to listen to I Love the Boogie in just a minute.